me again. And yeah, found a little break in the rain. So I thought we could go out for a little walk quickly and have a chat about a few things. I've had loads of comments again about the camera. Everyone wants to know about this camera. And it's a DJI Osmo Pocket. And there's two versions, there's a 1 and a 2. This is the 1 because I'm cheap. And I don't think there's much of a difference. I think the main difference is you can use a wireless mic on the 2. That doesn't bother me. And I won't give you affiliate links or anything. Just, yeah, I'll take a picture again. I've mentioned it a few times, but people don't seem to watch to the end. So that's all right. Yeah, just buy the cheap one. I won't give you affiliate links. Go on eBay. I think I paid 150 quid for this. The mic adapter was 35 quid from DJI, but it seems a rip-off unless you've got a mic you really like. I just bought the cheap Boya mic. I think it was like 20 quid or something. Just get one of them. If that's what you want to do. They're quite handy for doing different stuff with. And it's all on a gimbal that you can move it about and stuff. So, yeah, there you go. Right, a couple of stories to go through. So let's do that. I don't want to drag on too long today. Quite a busy day today. Trying to sort the house thing out. Hopefully it's going to complete today. But there seems to be some complications. So, I am busy at work. Right, so what we got? What's the first one? Richard Sharp will likely be forced out as BBC chair, report says. I'm surprised he's still got it. I'm surprised he's still got the gig, aren't you? Because, I don't know, maybe he's qualified for the job, maybe he's not. But there's questions over how he got the gig, and it's damaging the BBC's reputation. It just is. So yeah, I don't see how he's tenable in that position. But that's the BBC's mantra, isn't it? That's what they got on their business cards. Not tenable. What else did we have? Oh yeah, this one. Because there was the drag queen that I talked about a couple of weeks ago, wasn't there? That got a gig in Doctor Who. And I didn't know if it was going to be the Doctor or not, but images have been released. So it looks like the new Doctor Who is taking some kind of 70s kind of look. But the drag queen was the baddie. Here, have a look. Jinx Monsoon has started filming for Doctor Who. And here is a first look image of her in character as the Doctor's most powerful enemy yet. So there you go. Now we know what the drag queen is doing in Doctor Who, in case you were interested in that sort of thing. I'm just going to fix this, hold on. Wasn't framing me properly. I'm still having problems with the face tracking on this thing. I think maybe the stick I use is too long or something. Oh, this was a good one. I saw it, maybe you spotted it in the paper as well. Katie Price spotted driving uninsured and untaxed vehicles. Driving ban is lifted. Did you see that? You're right. So yeah, I spotted that. God. I mean, I think we should have, I'm going to talk about this bit in a minute, but I think what we should do, have a guess below. We'll run a poll, not for a prize or anything like that, just for fun. We'll have a poll about how long she'll keep her driving licence this time, because she's got it back now. So how long do you think she'll keep her driving licence for? I will go 3 months, I think would be my guess. But this is a bit off, this story, because I started laughing when I read it, as you do, because it's a clickbaity headline and we all know how I feel about this lady. But if you actually look at the pictures, look, it was in some crappy Genesis as well. Oh, unless someone out there has a Genesis, now I'm going to get a load of grief for that, and I'm not a fan myself, but you're allowed to like what you like. If we all like the same car, there'd only be one car, wouldn't there? But some of the pictures zoomed in, look, she's got a blooming trade plate on the dash, and isn't that useless boyfriend of hers a car dealer? So it's not uninsured and untaxed. The number plate might show up as that, but she's driving it on trade plates, as she's allowed to do if the trade plates are in the car, and he's the trader who the trade plate's probably registered to. So yeah, whilst I do like a headline like that about her, yeah, it wasn't really news, was it? But I thought it'd be fun to talk about. Put your guesses below how long you think she's going to keep her driving licence for this time, because she doesn't believe that the rules of the road apply to her the same way that they apply to us, does she? Extinction Rebellion leader exposed as eco-hypocrite who has diesel car and buys imported food in non-recyclable packaging. I mean, she's got to eat. Right? Some of that's probably a bit unfair. I mean, she's got to eat, and if you're buying food, not all of it's going to come, the food that you require, in useful packaging, is it? But she does drive a diesel car. It's only a little 1.5 diesel, so it's not the worst diesel in the world, but it is a diesel car. And it's, you know, it's do what I say, not as I do. How can the leader of Extinction Rebellion be rolling around in a diesel? It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me, that one. I don't get that. I don't get that. But it's just these people, they want to judge us. It's not tracking my face again, look. They want to take the moral high ground and judge us and tell us what to do, but they don't want to follow the rules. You know, if there's one person that should be driving an electric car to Waitrose, it should be her. I don't know. I don't like all this eco-warrior stuff. I don't like it. Telling us we've got to buy it. We was having a good debate in the pub last night about it. It's like they're cracking down on diesel cars. Like they wanted us to buy diesel cars, didn't they? Years ago, there was incentives to buy them, scrappage and everything. Now you can't buy a diesel car because they're so polluting. But what about, you know, if you're going to tackle something that burns a lot of diesel, why not tackle like cruise ships or something that burn thousands of litres an hour? Why are you bothering van drivers about it? And hard-working people who can't necessarily afford to buy another car. Don't get me started on it. But we had a good debate in the pub last night about it. Piers Morgan, Ricky Gervais and other celebs hit back after losing their Twitter blue tick. Yeah, some of them are really unhappy about losing their Twitter verification tick. That's the world we live in now, apparently. That's the world that we live in, that it's an important factor to have in your life, is a Twitter blue tick. Well, these people are going to understand that Twitter isn't actually the real world. And, you know, it doesn't matter. What's going on with my hood? It doesn't matter. It's Twitter. Who cares if you're verified with a blue tick or not? Grow up. And he's starting to charge, isn't he? Like 11 quid a month or something to keep your blue tick. 11 quid a month. And Piers Morgan, if he's that bothered, I'm quite sure he can afford 11 quid a month. Aren't you? I don't know. It's not the real world. And it's just not an important factor in life, is it? And more of these people and these celebrities and journalists especially need to start understanding more, I think, that Twitter isn't the real world and things that happen on there, it's not the real world. But then I'm not a big social media user, says the bloke making YouTube videos. Yeah, I'm not. I have Twitter, I don't really use it. I have Facebook, I don't really use it. I have Instagram, I don't really post on it, but I do, obviously, follow things that I like to look at. That's what Instagram is for. I would never have TikTok on my phone. I've tried to use it, don't get it. I don't know, maybe I'm just old-fashioned or something. Twitter blue tick doesn't. Why are you kicking off about it? And the ex-BBC bloke wasn't happy about it. What was his name? Dan Walker. Yeah, Dan Walker especially wasn't happy about it. Channel 5's Dan Walker made it clear he had zero intention of paying out, simply writing, "Farewell blue tick, it was nice knowing you." Grow up. Who cares? Who cares? Yeah, so I was they had the news on in the pub and I had the radio on the way. I wasn't drinking alcohol. Well, I had one with me dinner, but I was there quite a long time, it was fine. And the news, they were talking about the headline, look. World's biggest rocket explodes minutes after takeoff and Elon Musk looks furious. I just thought, yeah, all right, so a rocket's blown up. Brilliant. But it was the statement that come out. They were talking about it on the news a lot, the statement that come out. And I was like, what the fuck? It's like the clown world that we live in, right? The mission has already been declared a success by Musk's SpaceX team because the rocket managed to clear the launch tower. And on the news, they had BBC News on in the pub, because I was in the Wetherspoons, obviously, and I was listening to LBC on the way. And it was being touted as a massive success. A massive, massive success. Because it cleared the launch tower. It blew up. How was that a success? Someone please explain to me how we managed to get to the moon in the 60s and yet it blowing up 4 minutes after taking off is now a space success. And this is the man that wants to go to Mars. What technology did we have in the 60s? crazy. It really makes me laugh. It really does make me laugh. Success. Billions of pounds. And why isn't NASA doing it anymore? Why are they farming this out to third-party companies? Is it plausible deniability for when it all goes Pete Tong? And they can say, well, it wasn't us. Maybe after losing those astronauts. I don't know. I mean, we can go down the conspiracy route on all of this bit, if you like, in the comments, because I don't think it's that harmful. But we don't go normally down conspiracy routes on this channel, do I? I don't mind going down for the space thing. Do you think the technology we had in the 60s, come on, if they can't do it now, did they do it then? Debate below. I won't tell you which side of the fence I sit on it. I try and be impartial. I'm a newsreader now, remember. Steep hill, that one. It's quite steep. Let's have a little look in the graveyard again, because it reminds me of the TV licence fee. And I've got some of your comments. Let's have a look. Thanks for your help and great educational vids. On another note, the official no licence needed policy come up as page not found. Have they amended this or got rid of the section under their rules? If so, that's another underhand thing the Bieber doing. Or do you have updated links? Thank you. Yeah, there's a web form where you can cancel your licence and declare no licence needed. And it comes and goes. It does come and go a lot. I think when they have like a big spate of cancellations, I think they take the page down. Can't prove that. Could be technical issues. But I've just got this feeling that they take the page down to make it a bit harder to cancel and fill out the no licence needed form when they're getting a bit inundated. But don't be scared to call. Don't be scared to call. The phone people are generally pretty helpful. I don't hear many horror stories about them, so don't be scared to call them. And also, don't forget, if you pay by direct debit, I had a few people say they've cancelled the direct debit, they're now licence free. If you've done it by cancelling your direct debit, because you don't have to tell them that you don't want your licence fee anymore, you can just cancel your direct debit. But when you pay by direct debit, you tend to pay in advance. So do make sure to call them, because you might get a refund. I might even have a comment about that. I might have just talked over myself. Hang on. If they are cutting down on expenditure, Chilli, why is the licence fee going up to £172 then? Well, they've got a £300 million black hole in their finances that they're trying to fill, and that's only getting bigger. Like, the cost of productions is going through the roof. But the problem is they get involved in so many things they don't need to be involved in. I know I keep mentioning it, but the orchestras, for instance. And if you go to the BBC News website, they have it in lots of languages. Someone was talking to me earlier today, let's turn around here, about BBC Pidgin. You ever been on BBC Pidgin News website? So it's BBC News translated into Pidgin English, which is an entertaining read, granted. And there is, well, I can't remember what African country it is that use Pidgin English as an official language. But whatever African country it is, they don't pay the licence fee. So why is the BBC employing people to translate news stories into Pidgin English for readers who don't pay the licence fee? Does that make any sense to you? This is the wastage that they're into, and it goes so deep. Goes so deep that the only way to fix it would be to shut the BBC down and start again from scratch. The money they waste on stuff, the more I read and the more I learn about it, it's shocking the wastage that they go through. So that's why it's going up. It's trying to plug the black hole. So they're not making that many new programs. You know it all by now. I was trying to be a bit less TV licensee today because it's a Friday. You should see the report that around 70 to 80,000 people a month are now cancelling their TV licences. Seems your message is getting through. I'm trying to get some official numbers. I've contacted TV licensing and I want their official numbers, and they should be able to provide them. They tend to put them on the website at the end of every year. So, worst case scenario, I will have those numbers, obviously. That's a lot, isn't it? It is a lot. And like I said, the more people that cancel, the bigger that number gets, the closer you are to getting the change that you want. There's a tipping point there. It will come. It's when there's mass non-payment, that's when change happens. And it can either change for the worst, where they'll turn it into a mandatory tax, media levy, whatever you want to call it, or they'll just end it because public opinion is so against it. Or you might get one like France, where they end it to appease public opinion, but then just up that a bit to make up the money again. But it's interesting. I think we're going to see some change this year. I genuinely think this year we're going to see some big news on the BBC and the TV licence fee front. I really do believe it. After coming across your channel and finding it very enlightening, I followed the advice and cancelled the TV licence. Then I got a letter, but no, it informed me I was due a refund. This is the bit I think is sneaky. On the same day I get an email from the BBC and it says 2 years, etc. There's also a look at what you're missing, blah blah blah. So yeah, all right, this guy's cancelled his guy. I might have misgendered somebody again, that's the second time this week. Cancelled the TV licence, got a letter saying they're getting a refund, then got a letter saying that their no licence needed thing is processed and they won't contact them properly with scary letters for 2 years. But in there is a look at what you're missing. That's pretty standard stuff. I got that when I used to do the no licence needed declaration. But I don't think there's anything sneaky in that. You got your refund that you was entitled to. And refunds are at their discretion as well. I remember reading the small print once, and they can offer refunds at their discretion. But you got your refund. You got your no licence needed claim through. I don't think it's wrong of them to chuck a bit in there to say this is what you're missing by not paying your licence fee. And it's not your problem anymore anyway, is it? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Unless I've missed something in there. Loved XR2s in the day. Oh yeah. Oh no, loved XR3s in the day, sorry. Still regret not buying it, but I've had to transfer the deposit money for the house this morning. A flat even this morning. Done that. And obviously I had to pay the IKEA bill. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't buy that bloody Escort now. You see what I've got there. Not good. Sorry, looking at dogs again. No, I'm dog mad at the minute. I'm all out. I'm all out of your comments. I didn't pin many. I just wanted to keep it quite short and sweet today because I've got a lot to do. And yeah, home to complete. There's been some problems with the flat. Nothing's gone smoothly. I don't think my conveyancer knows her elbow from her orifices, personally. But someone else is on the case now because I complained. So it's possible it will complete today. I'll believe it when I see it. The drama around it, it's stressful. Because my mortgage offer expires on Tuesday. And then I get an email from my mortgage broker saying, oh, they've requested the mortgage funds, it's been sent, you'll be completing. I'm like, oh, lovely. And then the conveyancer rings me and says, we requested the funds because it buys me 5 days. I've got 5 days to complete now. I'm like, well, why didn't you request the funds on Tuesday when it expires? Then you've had another 5 days. Don't know. But then she said, if we don't complete in time, the mortgage offer will expire. We'll have to send the funds back. And then we start again from scratch, don't we? It's absolutely useless. So now I had to be onto the mortgage broker to try and get an extension on the mortgage offer. Drama. So now I've told her I don't want to work in the case anymore. And I've got someone else working the case now. We'll see. I will let you know. But yeah, I've got to go find some lunch somewhere. And I can't go far. I've got so much to do today. It's Friday. Friday's always a busy one for me. But I hope you're going to have a good weekend. I might not talk to you over the weekend. But yeah, have a good weekend. Let me know your guess below about Katie Price. And as always, thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next one at some point. Ta-da!